Hi, and welcome to STEAM Night. And welcome to the last letter of STEAM, which is the M for math. And I know for some parents, and for me myself, even as a teacher, when I hear the word math, instant fear. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do this. I can't teach my kid math. I don't even do well in math. Math is scary. But tonight we are going to learn that math doesn't have to be scary. And one of the math elements that we're going to look at tonight is shapes. And I know that Miss Patty just spoke about how infants and toddlers kind of observe and are exposed to shapes and musical patterns and things like that. And music is math. Patterns are a math concept. I know she talked about how infants kind of, observe, they kind of place things, they put things in things. And that's a great way of a stepping stone towards actually learning what to call things. Because you're not gonna, yes, you might say, oh, square, but you're not gonna be like, say square, because they're not ready for that. But up in the preschool end is when we start exposing them that shapes are everywhere and that shapes can correlate into even things like drawing on your picture for your stories, right? I know my preschoolers know that we use shapes to draw our stories because it makes it easier. And one of the great tools that we have here at the ELC and that we've been sending out are these wonderful Xenomath games. We have sent out a couple, at least on the preschool end, on various concepts of different math elements. And like I said, today we're going to talk about how shapes are a math concept. This Xenomath game is a great way. I'm going to do just a quick little rundown with this game. It comes in different levels. So your first level might be your 2 and 3-year-olds when you're just starting to talk about shapes, expose them to shapes, just a fun little introduction. So for everything that you introduce to your children, regardless of age, being there with them, supervising them, and just letting them explore them. Let them kind of touch the shapes, build with them maybe, explore the pieces, talk about them with them, use the math words that you know, because you are the best teacher for your children. And with this one, it just states, get the yellow mat and just use the cards that are available in here and just match some shapes. So I'm going to hold this up for my wonderful kids that are with us. What shapes can you recognize? Can you look at your bigger person and maybe tell them some of the shapes that you might recognize on here? These are 2-dimensional shapes, right? Yeah, these shapes are flat. They're flat. Yeah, we have a circle and some triangles and a rectangle and a square. And down here we have some more of our not so normal shapes, but we have an octagon and a hexagon and a rhombus and a trapezoid. So some fun shapes, yeah. And then when we keep moving on into shapes, we're gonna use, instead of saying 3D, we're gonna say these are 3-dimensional shapes. Yeah, these are shapes that can hold something. So they're like a container. They're hollow on the inside, so they can hold something. And these 3-dimensional shapes have slightly different words than our flat shapes, our 2-dimensional shapes. So we have a cuboid, a rectangular prism, pyramid, cone, we have a cylinder, and then everyone's favorite, a sphere. So the progression there was, we talked about 2D shapes that are flat, 2-dimensional shapes because they're flat, kind of would expose them to them, play some varying games of matching shapes, looking around your house or the classroom to find everyday objects that are certain shapes. So you could do a shape scavenger hunt. These cards in the game that we have here is a great way to kind of take this and say, okay, you have a circle and a square. How many things can you find that are a circle and a square? And go! And let them have a scavenger hunt. It's a great way to do shapes in a fun way. And then, once they kind of mastered their 2-dimensional shapes, you can start moving up to three-dimensional shapes. And, you know, first talking about them, then talking about how a sphere can be a ball. That's a great one for a sphere. But a circle is flat, like a cookie or a tortilla. Yeah. And then, you know, and these cards that are in here are a great way to kind of show different things. So like a party hat is a cone shape, just like an ice cream cone is a cone shape because it holds ice cream, and this holds your head, right? So three-dimensional shapes hold something. Two-dimensional shapes are flat, just like this, they're flat. And then the progression from there would be to even utilize them in drawing. Like you see behind me, our trees in our classroom are usually triangles and rectangles. Our people are very basic shapes of a circle, an oval, circles for eyes. We use squares for houses, triangles for houses. And this is a great way because we do a lot of storytelling in our classrooms through drawing and telling with our preschoolers. It's a great tool for progression into reading, which is a whole nother subject. Yes, shapes come in handy. If they know the shapes, and we can practice the shapes, and it becomes easier to express themselves through drawing and storytelling. So obviously shapes are just one concept of math. So we just went over shapes as a math concept and how much fun they can be to learn shapes because they're just all around us. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about how music is math. It's probably my favorite way to do math because it encompasses patterns, and you get to create patterns, sing songs, and just really have some fun with math. One of the things we do up in the preschool end is we do a lot of music, much like infants and toddler teachers do music with their infants, you know, singing songs and just really engaging them in that. We do songs, we dance, but we really point out patterns. We have our children do patterns with us, like an AB pattern, an ABB pattern, or an ABC, depending on what we're doing. We try to get them to finish musical patterns that we start or extend or make their own. So let's try an example of what I'm talking about here. So if any of my preschoolers are here, they'll know exactly what we're doing. So we're gonna do an A-B pattern or a 1-2 pattern first. So that would be, I'm gonna clap my hands and pat my shoulders. So it'd be clap, pat, clap, pat, clap, pat, clap, pat. Another pattern that we could do could be an ABC pattern, sorry, not an ABA pattern. So it might be clap, pat, leg pat. So it would be and just a constant motion. You can also do like a 1-2-2. So it'd be like 1 2 2 1 2 2 1 2 2. Just really getting them to think of repeating things that just keep repeating. And we even might take like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So why don't we try this one, and it'd be Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are. So that pattern was a clap and a pat. It's just really fun, and to get them kind of engaged in an action to expose them to patterns. Because patterns, a lot of times we do patterns with objects and with pictures and things of that nature. And this is just another fun way to kind of introduce patterns into the classroom on the preschool end. So I hope you enjoyed this section of the STEAM night, learning all about how we do shapes and how we do music to engage our students in math in our classroom on the preschool end. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I hope this kind of shows you how easy it is to do STEAM even at home.